If you want to know why you're scared of speaking English in groups and you want to find some ways you could overcome your fear of speaking, you're at the right place. I used to be a really shy guy back until my early 20s. I was terrified of speaking in public, in class, in groups, just because I wanted to say everything perfectly. I was scared of what other people would think, of mistakes I make, or if I slow down, maybe I would upset them because they become impatient when they're listening to me, or what would I look like if I hesitated for a couple of seconds looking for the best words. But that's the thing of the past. And if you're experiencing the same things when you're speaking English, keep watching, especially because at the end of the video, I'm going to be sharing with you my 3-step method for you to overcome your fears of speaking so you no longer feel scared of speaking English in groups. Hey English learner, my name is Chubby. I'm an English fluency learning and language anxiety coach. And this is a channel for English learners who want to learn how to make vocabulary more memorable and speak English more freely, more comfortably, and more confidently with the help of listening and spoken communication. So if you're interested in any of these topics, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get access to my weekly dose of videos, trainings on fluency, vocabulary, and listening. I spent years in the shadow, completing grammar books, looking at rules, writing down my thoughts or example sentences on paper, or watching YouTube videos on vocabulary or grammar. I could even read some books. So I got really good at grammar and understanding English, but I couldn't speak. I couldn't put together a whole sentence without thinking of what the preposition is going to be, without translating from my first language, or without hesitating. And honestly, I don't know if you can relate to this, I felt so ashamed that after so many years of learning English, I was still scared of speaking English in groups. There's something important I need to mention here, which is going to help you understand why you're scared of speaking English in groups. How do you get better at lifting weight? You lift weight. How do you get better at cooking a meal? You cook a meal. So how do you get better at speaking English fluently? You speak English. This is so important for you to get, because a lot of people who aren't fluent in English can't speak English fluently because they are practicing other skills like checking grammar rules, writing example sentences, or swiping on social media videos on English vocabulary. And they're doing this because they think their English is not good enough to practice speaking. If you find yourself in the same situation, when is your English going to be good enough? Do you need to know 3,000 words? Or you need to pass an advanced English exam? Or does Beyonce need to come over and hand over a permission telling you that your English is good enough? So many English learners are scared of speaking English in groups because they are worried about not sounding fluent, making mistakes, upsetting people because they are speaking slowly, or maybe they don't want to share their opinion. Do you know how kids are learning their first language? First, they just put some words together. They aren't even sentences. And then they gradually, as they are learning more grammar and vocabulary, they are able to put together longer and more complex sentences. But is a kid who's learning their first language a worse person or a worse language user because it takes time for them to put a sentence together? Or is a kid learning their first language a better person or a better language user because they are using a scientific word when they are 5 years old? Your value isn't in your level of English or how advanced your vocabulary is. Your value is in who you are. An incredibly amazing, talented, intelligent human being. And understanding and accepting this is going to be crucial if you want to learn how not to feel scared of speaking English in groups. Because if you always feel shy about speaking English and then decide not to speak, how do you expect to get better at speaking? And after coaching hundreds and hundreds of students in the last 15 years, based on their experience and my experience as a successful and effective language speaker in no fewer than 5 foreign languages, I can tell you one thing. The only way you can get better at speaking English is if you speak, interact, and communicate in English. You can always look at your situation in many different ways and choose what you're focusing on. When someone speaks slowly, takes time to think about what the next word is, puts sentences together, and makes occasional grammar mistakes along the way, is that a failure? Is that a sign of inability, that this person is horrible at speaking English? Or is it more like a person who is trying their best to improve their speaking skills and overcome their fear of speaking? And here's something I wanted to share with you that I learned about fear. Although the body is very intelligent, it cannot tell the difference between an actual situation and a thought. It acts to every thought as if it were a reality. It doesn't know it is just a thought. To the body, a worrisome, fearful thought means, I am in danger. And it responds accordingly, even though you may be lying in a warm and comfortable bed at night. Your brain is protecting you from danger, like those lions, wolves, and tigers that used to walk around when we used to live in caves. But technically, you are not in real danger if you're sitting at home with an open laptop and you're talking in English with other people from around the world. But just because it's something new and there's so many unexpected things that could happen, your brain looks at it as a threat. As you heard in the quote, your thoughts aren't real facts. There's so many things in your body that can influence those thoughts, including your body temperature, your hydration, your hormones, how much you've eaten, and your past experiences. And if you take a moment here, slow down and really understand this way of looking at fear will change your life. The only way to get through fear is to get through fear. And if you avoid speaking English because you're scared of speaking English in groups, that fear will only grow bigger. So when I was facing a scary situation and I had to speak in front of others, I asked myself 2 questions. What could happen if I do it? What could happen if I don't do it? And avoiding speaking for such a long time only made me feel more overwhelmed, more stuck, and lost in the long term. So I focused on what could happen if I do it and build consistency around it. I kept asking myself the same question every time I felt scared of speaking English in groups. And in just a few minutes, I'm going to be sharing with you a few other questions that you can ask yourself to slowly and gradually build your confidence in speaking English. Facing my fear allowed me to practice communicating in English, become a fluent and confident English speaker, and the confidence I got from all this allowed me to build a global company that is now impacting the lives of hundreds of international English students, travel to 33 different countries from all across the world and live in 3 of them, the UK, Japan, and Thailand. And this allowed me to make friends and deeper connections with amazing people from all around the world, from countries like Turkmenistan, Italy, the UK, Japan, or the USA. If you'd like to learn more about how you can gain confidence in speaking English with a wide range of vocabulary and feel free to speak English in all sorts of situations, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get weekly updates on inspirational and educational content on how to speak English fluently, learn effectively, and manage your emotions along the way. You have amazing potential with your English. And if there's one thing that helped me take action on facing my fears, it was starting to be more compassionate with myself. Because compassion from other people and from yourself towards yourself is going to beat any kind of fear, insecurity, or self-doubt. When you understand that that fear is just there to protect you, but it's not a real fear, and you start speaking to yourself in a more encouraging and supportive way to keep pushing forward, pushing a little bit harder, you will see how much you will gain trust with yourself. So here are the 3 steps you can go through every time you're hit with this feeling of being scared of speaking English in groups. The first step is to notice that you have this negative thought and you're experiencing this fearful thought, and understand that it's a thought, it's not reality. Step 2, distance yourself from that thought. You are not your thoughts. It's just like when you're looking at the sky, you see clouds moving. You can decide to focus on this or on that cloud. The same thing goes for your thoughts. You can decide which thought you give your attention to. So instead of saying, I'm scared of speaking English in a group, you could say, I'm having a thought of being scared of speaking English in a group. Step 3, the most important part of it, become your own cheerleader and say, thank you so much for protecting me, but I'll be fine. And I choose to focus on and start focusing on all the benefits of taking that big, brave step that will help you get closer to your fluency. It isn't going to be easy at the beginning, and being kind to yourself once isn't going to be enough. You need to build consistent practice around shifting your focus from the fear that everybody is looking at you and they are all going to spot your mistakes to, I'm here to learn to speak better. If you'd like to stay in touch and keep developing your confidence in speaking English, join my free Facebook group, Build Your Fluency. You can check out the link in the description below and join anytime to get weekly fluency trainings on how to develop your listening skills, how to expand your vocabulary so that you can take the next step towards your goal, which is to speak English fluently and freely. And I'm going to repeat this to you. Your value is in who you are, just as you are. Your value isn't in what you do, what you don't do, how many exams you have taken, what your score is on a test, how many friends you have, or how many advanced words you use in a sentence. Your value is in who you are, just as you are. You're a citizen of this planet. You have the right to speak English fluently, just like so many other people have done it. But the first step for you to do is to start believing that you can learn to speak English fluently, and that a native speaker isn't a better person than you because they have more control over what they say, because they use more complex structures, and you're not a worse person because you use simple structures when you're just learning how to speak English better. You will see how much your life will change and your confidence will boost to the skies when you stop destroying yourself with avoidance and negative thoughts about your abilities to speak English fluently. Because we don't destroy what we love. And it's time to start loving yourself as an English speaker.